Hey, what's up, 1-8-Bit? All right, let's talk about part 4, how muscle grows in a home workout series. So now you have a gym, hopefully said, but it's time to learn how to use all the equipment in order to start some serious growth or at least some lean muscle growth. So how do you get muscles to grow? And how can you do this from the comfort of your own home with none of the help or guidance you would get by working out at the gym? Let's take a look. So let's cover some basics. In order to build muscle, you need to trigger hypertrophy. The simple technical term for muscle growth, it actually occurs when you're resting. This makes the muscle build a two-part process. Part 1 is the exercise that breaks down the muscle and marks it for growth. Part 2 is the growth stage that occurs after you finish lifting when you're at rest. This can occur through two separate methods. These are myofibrillar hypertrophy and, of course, sarcoplasmic hypertrophy. The precise science behind the principles is still something that's being argued, and there are those that deny that they're accurate descriptions. However, ask any bodybuilder and they'll tell you that there are two ways to build muscle that seemingly correlate with these two concepts. The two ways are muscle damage and metabolic stress. And so on top of that, you have something else at play, which is the ability to build strength. Strength is often, but not always, related to muscle size. You can be very strong and have very lean muscle. And so the other factor that we need to talk about is muscle fiber recruitment. So that's a lot of words I just threw at you. And you're probably going, Jen, okay, English, please. So simply put, your muscles are made up of a lot of tiny strands called muscle fibers. These are actually cells, just like the cells that make up the rest of your body and the neurons that make up your brain. This means that they have nuclei, and it means that they have sarcoplasm. If we refer back to high school biology, the difference is that muscle fibers have multiple nuclei, and they also have the ability to telescope in order to contract and expand. Of course, when this happens in mass, it causes your muscles to contract and to expand too, which is how you lift things in the gym or at home, right? Unfortunately, there is no way you can create more muscle fibers. This is known as hypoplasia. It has only been known to occur under very rare circumstances. However, what you can do is break down the muscle in order to make it grow back thicker. You do this by lifting heavy weights to failure, especially under a stretch, and at which point you create micro tears in the muscle. And proteins are then used to repair those tears, which causes the muscle to come back in a larger size. This is also called DOMS, so DOMS, delayed onset muscle soreness. This is why you might find it hard to lift a coffee mug the next day or sit down, right? This is what we actually call myofibrillar hypertrophy and muscle damage. The most important factor here is to overload the muscle. There are other factors though too, such as making sure that you train the muscles from multiple angles and hit every fiber, and training with both fast and slow form in order to train the fast twitch and the slow twitch fibers. But don't worry, it sounds complicated. I'm going to be breaking it down for you. Fast twitch fibers only kick in when the slow twitch fibers aren't capable of lifting. And these are naturally the thickest and strongest type of fibers in your muscles. This is why you need at least a certain amount of weight in order to recruit them. So what does sarcoplasmic hypertrophy involve? Well, this is muscle growth caused by swelling of the muscles and fluids. When you lift for long enough, you gradually pump the muscles with blood and use the lactic acid systems, filling them with those chemicals too. In other words, the part of your body that is working will start to become swollen with blood, nutrients, oxygen, and energy. And if you keep lifting, this causes the part of the muscle to become fuller and fuller. And includes the area like wrapping or tourniquet around it. So now the good news is that this also triggers the release of metabolites, chemicals that trigger growth, such as growth hormone and testosterone. So that at the same time, the muscles become more efficient and storing sarcoplasm and glycerin in order to perform long durations. This increases a more puffy looking muscle that can form for longer rather than hard, leaner muscle that can generate a more short-term power. So this sarcoplasmic hypertrophy is caused predominantly by, metabolic stress. And the key factor is bringing this to the end is about time under tension. So you hear that said a lot, time under tension. And it'll lead us to feeling the pump in the gym. Both types are useful when you combine these forms of training, and you build more size and power. As a general rule, bodybuilders tend to train more with sarcoplasmic methods, whereas powerlifters are more myofibrillar approaches. Then there are those that say there is no such thing as, sarcoplasmic hypertrophy. It doesn't matter. Think of it just as a useful cognitive tool for understanding the process. At the end of the day, bodybuilders know that heavy lifting for small reps equates to more power, while lifting lighter for higher reps equates strength. Combine both for power building. If you're a lady who doesn't want to bulk up, just, you can still lift pretty heavy and not bulk up, but I'll lead us through the different options in the coming videos. So finally, there's one more concept we need to recognize here: muscle fiber recruitment. Because if you look at if you look at someone like Bruce Lee, you'll see that it's possible to be immensely strong without having a lot of muscle size. How? By using a higher percentage of your muscle fiber in every movement. Bruce Lee was the master of this, but there was a number of ways you can train to get more control over your muscle fiber. The main key here is to train at the very highest end of what you're capable of resistance-wise. This forces your body to recruit as many fast-twitch fibers in the muscle as possible, which is the strengths in the neuromuscular junction to increase your raw power output. Bruce Lee would use a technique called static contraction, where he would push or pull against an immovable force to practice generating as much power as possible. Add that to your routine and watch your strength soar if you have never tried that. And so really just to break it down, what we need to break down our muscles so we can build back up, give it rest, and in that we'll build muscle. And remember, we want that. Even ladies want some lean muscle because it's going to help us burn more calories even at rest. It's going to give you an overall better, leaner shape, so don't be scared of it. All right, in our next one, we're going to talk about my favorite high-intensity techniques to unlock your full potential. My favorite type of workout we're going to be diving into. I can't wait. If we haven't met before, real quick, please like, subscribe, follow this channel if you want a holistic approach to living fit as a lifestyle. My name's Jen Blake, and I have over 20 years in the industry of working with nutrition coaching and personal training, group fitness coaching, and just really life and transformational coaching and educational type stuff like this. And my goal is to help you live fit from an approach where we look at you as a whole person, and we talk about being fit in mind, emotions, fit in our micro habits, because our micro habits really are the things that determine how we'll be and lead us to success, and then our nutrition and our movement. Here at 180 Fit, it's truly something that's sustainable, doable, realistic, practical, fits into your life now and will for the next 10 years. It's void of diet fads and empty promise programs that just want your money. It truly focuses on you and what your goals are. And from there, we're really here just to inspire and encourage one another to live our best lives. So when we get to the end of our lives, we know that we played full out and everything that we were meant to do while we had our time here. So if you're an emotional or binge eater and try to find that solution, I'm here for you. That's what this channel is about. There is hope. Be brave, be kind, live authentically, and always shine. Try to remember you're just one habit away with that micro habit. Maybe it's thinking about really what you're going to do to make this work for you. What are you going to get? Maybe get that first piece of equipment today, or watch the next video and really learn about why I'm such an advocate of HIIT workouts.